Hi, recording. Hello, YouTube. Sorry, not late, but you're coming in partway through the game. We realized I realized I didn't record, so we've been playing
What's up,
for.
gamers? We started without you.
We did. We started for like 30 minutes without you, gamers. So the party they decided to go talk to Lars Silverman, the guard captain in Calcite. They talked to him. He said, "I get them cags," and they said, "I." And they talked about whether they want to try to climb up the mountain and then river down, or just walk, or boat. And we kind of landed on just walking, because there's no strategic advantage to doing it any other way. At least not as far as the party can tell.
We also talked to Sasha Hellion through Sending Stones.
Yes, got information. She warned them, don't make a deal with hags. All words are binding. Hag layers be dangerous. Hags be dangerous. Is the long and short of it.
Kill one.
Kill one first, because if trio, kill one to make the others weaker.
Make like dominoes.
Yeah. Right, now that you're back into it, party. 2:30 in the afternoon. Are you going? Are you walking?
We're
walking. We're
Are
walking.
they stronger at night or anything, or like?
You asking me that, or asking the party?
I'm asking the party. Are they stronger at night? Like, do we need to wait until the morning?
There was no mention of them being stronger or weaker at any point of the day.
No.
I don't think they're. Yeah,
No.
I don't think it plays into it.
I'll double check, see what I remember, and see if there's anything I'm forgetting. But no, as far as I remember from all the studying and such, honestly, they're pretty much always terrible. It's the difference of trying to pretend that they're not terrible. Like, oh no, they really care about you, and they really want the best for you. And it's that like false assurance sort of thing. It's a con game in a sense, But give me a second. Let me just. I'm gonna think for a moment.
Roll a nature or arcana check, your choice.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, actually, no. History's probably more accurate. Fair enough. All right, history's good. Besides, you rolled a 17. You're fine. Okay, and arcana, you rolled better, but functionally the same. Yeah, no. Daytime doesn't tend to matter. You, with that roll, you would know some hags are superstitious. Isn't the right word, because sometimes their magic actually has effects, but most hags have particular things they care about, so they might like night or day more, etc. But they don't have any inherent magical power associated with night or day or anything.
Right, it's more like themed, right? So there's like the night hags, and they're like, oh, they've got like darkness magic and like different things like that. And then there's like swamp hags, and they like poisons and things of that nature, thorns, and right. And then there's what's another one? There's like the frost hags, right? And obviously cold, right? Makes sense, right? Sea hags, great, excellent. Those they love all sorts of like drownings and things like that. So it's really more of a theme, right? So if they're in a forest, either it's a swamp. I suppose it could be possible that they're just night hags, because night hags are kind of operate anywhere. So I think if we focus on the possibility of poisons in like kind of anti-thickets, right? Or the possibility of like a lot of darkness and shadowy like things of that nature. So that's probably what we're going to run into.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need to stay here for any reason, unless we need a long rest. But I doubt it. And it's probably going to be a day or two walk, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's 5 days walk from here.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I think we're good then.
Okie doke. So you're trying to get in a bit of a half day. Or are you trying to do a full 8-hour march and end your day at like 10 o'clock after dark?
I say we don't need to try to exhaust ourselves, but I say let's try to get there as quickly as possible. Who knows? Maybe that will be a sense of desperation. Like, oh, they really want to see us. They really must be in need of some help. Let's go help them, sisters, and all that sort of thing. So,
Okay.
that's my vote anyway. That's what I think.
So you're trying to go a full day's march. It's extremely hot, which means we get to make Constitution saving throws. And I will use the requested rolls thing to just give everyone.
How many gallons of water do we need each day?
Because it is scorching hot, 2 gallons per person. 10
How many
gallons
of us
total.
are there? 10? Okay.
10 and Jackie, but I don't know how much water she needs.
I have the alchemy jug that can make 8 gallons a day.
So somebody needs to take 10 gallons with them. That is 70 pounds of water, guys. Who's going to carry it?
So it's worth noting, assuming it's not scorching hot on other days, you'd be fine, just have a normal gallon per person.
Oh, wait, I have... Yes! Awesome. I do have create and destroy water already prepared.
Oh, there you go.
I thought you would.
Yes!
Pretty sure it
Never
makes
mind,
like
we're
30
good.
gallons.
I was about to say, like, dang, I don't know if I have it prepared, but I do!
That, and I don't know if some of you still have like water skins, but that has...
Oh, yeah.
I think it's supposed to be... I don't think it ever says how many it's supposed to have, but I think it's supposed to have like 5 days worth of water, maybe. That feels like
I
not
mean,
enough.
it's only 5 pounds. It really shouldn't have that much
Maybe
water.
like one. Yeah,
So
one
on a
day's
regular
worth.
day, alchemy jug has us covered. On a scorching day, I'll use create and destroy water as well.
Yeah.
That
I think
includes today. So go ahead and pop the spell slot. That's
Bam.
your water taken. You will still all require a pound of food. What you'd like to eat is up to you. You do have...
Can we
The
hunt?
berries.
Can we hunt on the way? Isn't that possible?
You also have, let's see, 9 times. You have 36 pounds of dried and smoked displacer meat. You can try to forage or hunt while traveling at a normal speed. And that will require a nature check.
And
There's
if we
also, however,
fail, good berries.
good berries can provide if needed. So what would you like to do, especially on the first day? Granted, you only need a little bit on the first day because you did already eat lunch.
John chose to measure his water skin. It only holds a gallon.
Fair enough.
Could the hunting possibly be a survival check?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yippee! Thicket in the wild.
Let me see. Though you are already navigating. Granted, it's a pretty easy navigation, but if you want, you'd have to have someone else navigate while you forage.
I can't do both.
Yep, not do both.
I'm not just awesome like that.
Not
Draw-
that awesome.
You're awesome, but not like that. That's what he's saying.
Pretty awesome, but you are fully limited.
All right. So I've got 3 in survival and 6 in nature.
I have 9 in survival, which is why I was the navigator.
Right. So, and what's your nature?
0.
Why don't I do the nature then?
Alright.
Right. Anybody
Yeah.
else want to help?
Can Mason help?
I
No,
feel like Mason would be really good at this.
Tremor sense.
it's limited. It's 30 feet in tremor sense. By the time he can tell anything's there, that it can tell you're there. There we
John,
go.
John, you know a little bit of everything too, right?
A little bit.
All right.
What-
Well, there you can help
What
me.
am I helping with?
Nature. You're basically giving me advantage. That's all.
I'm getting advanced.
You
I
give me.
am
If
giving-
you're proficient
Oh,
in nature,
I'm helping. Okay.
are you
I'm not
in it?
proficient in nature. No.
But we're half because of the bard nonsense.
Yeah,
Cool.
half proficient. Yes.
I don't know if that's enough to aid, but even the lower roll, the 9 that you dropped, is high enough for you to forage. So go ahead and roll me 1d6. Are you looking just for food, or are you also looking for fresh water?
We don't need water.
I don't need
Fair
water.
enough. So just food. Roll 1d6, and what's your wisdom modifier?
-1, bro.
You successfully find 1 pound worth of food in various berries and other forageable items.
How much do normal people need in poundage of food?
I don't know, but in D&D it's 1 pound per day per person.
Oh.
Good berry time.
John doesn't need food. We're good.
Yeah, you don't need to eat it all, do you? You just
Nope.
can. Yeah, we've had this conversation.
I'm amazing. We've covered this.
Yeah, you also, I believe, you do have rations. I don't know if you want to use them, but for example, Thicket has 29 days worth of rations in the hole.
Thicket was hoarding that for a while.
Why
so
are we hunting?
Because we don't like to use our items.
Yeah, pretty much.
FOMO, bro, FOMO. What if we need those someday? What
But
if
if you need that
What
30
if we're
pounds-
out in the desert and we just got attacked by some sandworm and have no spell slots and we need to survive?
I guess so.
Not to mention 36 pounds. I'll remind you, 36 pounds of displacer meat.
Yeah, I'll use rations instead.
Okay. So that's 4. Does John eat, or is he just gonna not?
Huh? No. John's fine.
In that case, you only need to expend 3 rations because Garan found his own dinner.
Am
know if
I
I don't know if he caught up.
divvying them out or do people have their own?
I don't know. I feel like for simplicity, we should just have yours. But at the same time, do other people want to mark off their own rations?
I thought I used. Do I still have some?
I don't know. I feel like you gave yours to Thicket, but I know Gambit has 5 days worth of rations. But at the same time, he might want to hold on to those for emergencies.
I have 5. I have 5 days of rations left myself.
I think those
Okay,
are like
I'll
from
divvy
your
them
start
out.
Here.
I'll take 3 off of mine.
Okay. For now, then we'll take 3 off yours. Ron found his 1, and yeah, make Constitution saves.
All of us?
I think I just pressed the thing to do it to everyone, didn't I? Or did it not work right?
How does that work?
Mm,
I need to do
Did
this.
something
I
roll?
don't see a pop-up.
No, I have no pop-ups.
Try
No
it
problem.
now. Does that work?
Oh. What
No.
are we looking for?
A box.
I
Yeah,
see many boxes, none of which look like a request
Should be
to
a
roll.
requested roll.
It's small. You'll see it if it does indeed.
Yeah, no.
No idea.
I checked behind
There-
all
Oh,
my
Yeah.
crap.
I see it.
I found
Hey!
I was looking at the wrong button. That was my fault.
Roll.
Woo! Let's go, 19. What's up?
Hey!
Yo, Thicket, we're you and I are ready to do this. Like they're like anti-nature and they're anti-fae, so it's like the two of us are like super hyped right now, I think.
Gambit still
Thicket in
needs
his
to-
natural habitat.
Gambit needs to see if Gambit becomes exhausted again.
Oh, but for a different reason. Yay,
Gambit's
Gambit!
good. You all rolled high enough, and with the time, you would be able to make that day's travel up to that next part where you are. There are 4 more days worth, and I will need... Let's see. There are 4 more days worth. I need everyone but Thicket to roll a d20. Just so I can note that down.
Nat 20.
Okay.
I don't know if that's good.
Yeah, 20. That's funny. Oh, mine was almost a 22. That was funny, but then it turned to 2. Hey, look, 2, 3, 4. Wow, we gotta get 1 now. So it can be like it's like it started from the top and then went back around.
Now we're here. That leaves... No, that was just those 4. Okay, cool beans. Alright, day 2. Let's see how the weather is today. The weather today is clear skies. Pretty day. It's a nice day. On the second day, as you move through... yeah, let's start with that. Go ahead and Thicket, you still want to roll the nature check, yes, or the nature check to find your way. Is that right? Or is Brisk doing the nature check to find his way? I can't remember which one of you is doing map and which one of you is navigating, which one of you is food.
I'm doing nature for food. Thicket's
I
doing...
am navigator.
I mean, Doug has survival.
It is survival for food. Doug does have survival proficiency, so he could actually help Garand. And he does have a +4.
that's better than... That's been my 3. I thought I was using nature.
He originally said nature, and
Said
then I
nature.
asked if it could be survival because I have +9.
I think survival is actually more accurate to the DMG.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then that survival of 4 is better than my survival of 3, but I can still help.
Yeah, so Doug, roll a survival check with advantage. Thicket, you can go ahead and roll your survival check for navigation. Is there anything else anyone would like to do during the travel times? Doug, you waste the day, you find no food.
Oh, man.
None at all. No food has been found.
Doug grabs something that like he's pretty sure is just like a pile of poop, and he just throws it. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, what? I was like, that's a cavern. What are you doing? You just threw a whole pile of apples.
Speaking of which, as you throw these apples, or what he thinks is poop, you do look around and you do see other poop. And Thicket, with your perception, you'd be able to fairly quickly feel a large movement. You feel almost like something large is jumping from the vibrations in the ground that you can very, very barely notice. And you also feel a little tremor sense Mason Boy shift at your side, seemingly having also noticed whatever this is. Around that time, as you're looking around, you hear 3 roars in a relatively short period of time, maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds. 2 large cacophonous ones, one after another, one slightly lighter. And then those 2 large cacophonous ones sound guttural and almost shrill at different points. The other one you actually hear 2 more, not just one. You hear one that sounds... When he wants to make a nature check to see exactly what it sounds like. And then the opposite one is a similar guttural sound, but it has a bit of a different tone to it. A bit lighter, less bassy. John, you can oddly tell, especially with the time that... Actually, you wouldn't have spent that much time in the desert. I don't know, you'd get it with the 12. Thicket, do you want to nature? I guess not desert, but savannas.
I have a 0 in nature, and also Echo is being a butt, so I need a AFK real quick.
Fair enough. I'll say that's probably enough. John, that sounds like a lion's roar. That third one of the 4.
Third of the 4. So one of them is a lion.
One of them sure sounds like a lion.
Hey guys, that was probably a lion and some other animals. I don't know what the other ones were.
Sounds like they're largely coming from further down the fairly general path you're following.
I don't think he's lying down.
There's trees, right?
Pretty sparse, but yeah.
Can Doug climb a tree?
Can Doug climb a tree?
Hopefully. Are you trying to see if you can tell from the distance?
Well, that, and then also to have the bow ready.
You're a bit far at the moment to be able to use a bow on whatever this is.
Do you say it sounded like a lion's roar?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I mean,
turn
really-
into a lion.
Doug wouldn't even really have to climb a tree. He could just swap places with his Echo.
Fair enough. You're a bit far for the bow. Make a perception check if you're trying to look to where this stuff is. You can't see very well. You see what looks to be something flying in the distance, but it's relatively small, and you can't really make out what the things beneath it are. But there are two fairly large things beneath it, seemingly reaching out for it as this thing flies around.
How far away are they, Doug?
They're in this direction.
A couple thousand feet.
Couple thousand feet. Oh.
I'm gonna turn into a lion.
You do so.
You do so.
I'll make it your turn so you can do it. Think it turns into a lion. What are the rest of you doing?
Polymorph yourself.
I think so.
Just curious. I want to head that way. I'm curious.
I will follow.
Heading that way, getting closer. Do the others follow?
You said the trees are scarce, right?
Yeah.
Like, by scarce, it's like one every, 100 feet or so.
Sure.
I don't know. I was just going to see if Doug could just, teleport from tree to tree.
The distance of your thing, probably not that close.
In that case, I'll just walk.
And everyone's closer than every couple of 100 feet, but they come in spurts of a few trees there, a few trees there. Nothing for 150 feet, etc. Okie doke. As you approach, you begin to get an idea of these different creatures. See which one is this? Which one's that? You, especially as you get closer, they're not hiding. You'd be able to see two very large, huge perhaps, lizard creatures standing on two hind legs, a long tail stretching out behind them, fairly small arms on their front end, and a large maw of teeth in front of them. As you see two Tyrannosaurus Rexes
Yes!
in the distance, one slightly larger than the other, seemingly trying to climb onto a rock to reach, as you see something else flying in the sky above them, where you're hearing two separate roars from it. Now that you're closer, a fairly loud baying is the best way to describe it. And you see occasionally spurts of flame from this third flying creature.
Dragon!
You see this.
I echo.
Oh, it's
I
not a
didn't want it
dragon.
to identify the image.
It's sort of a dragon.
Didn't want it to identify, but at the same time, you could figure out exactly what it is. But now it's nice to know that it'll auto-identify things.
Chimera.
Nice. What I love is how many different versions I've seen of things doing this, different ways of people putting this together. I've seen one where it's the black goat with they're instead of a lion and the black dragon, so it's all three of them are black. And it's only when upon closer inspection that you realize it's not a hydra, it's three different heads that do three different things.
Yeah. You see
Anyway.
this weird amalgamation of a goat, a lion, and a dragon all combined together. Various elements at various points as it is flying up above, seemingly taunting the T-Rexes. Staying just out of reach of them, as the larger one will even climb up onto this rock and try to jump up and snap at the Chimera. Seemingly pretty peeved, as it were.
Wait, the Chimera's paved or the
Seems like it could be
Tyrannosaurus?
both.
Okay.
Hey, Thicket. Do you want to make that chimera not fly?
What are we trying to kill the chimera?
Well, I mean, it just seems to be playing with the T-Rex, so why not let it be humbled a little bit?
I mean, isn't this just nature doing what it does? I mean, do we really have to intervene? It's cool and all, but
Are we
it's
just gonna
animals being animals, right?
walk past?
A chimera is not an animal, though.
Would John even know what a chimera is?
Make an Arcana check.
Sure looks like an animal.
John does not know what a chimera
No.
is.
It's weird. You've never seen anything like this.
I mean, yeah, it just seems like animals being animals to me. Sometimes they're just mean to each other.
I mean, they're also mean to us, so...
Occasionally one will get eaten. It's just kind of how life goes.
But, like, we are also trying to head in that direction.
We could go around.
Are y'all trying to be stealthy?
I am.
Not particularly. Maybe not being overt about where we are, but not. I don't know.
I just don't know if we want to pick a fight with either of these, if not all three of them.
That's what I'm saying. Why don't we just leave them to their devices?
What are y'all doing?
I mean, I'd rather just sneak around for the moment.
Thicket, unlions, and cast pass without a trace.
I love the idea of unlions.
We're over here. How far is that? How do I measure again?
Pass without a trace is a second level spell.
How far away
Okay.
are you trying to get from everything? You're trying to like give it a really wide berth beyond the edge of this map, or are you just trying to like move around over here?
I would say just
I would give it a decently wide berth.
give it a wide berth and just try to leave it alone.
Hey, going left or right?
They're on the left, right?
Sure. I mean, the world goes beyond the edge of this map.
What?
Oh, right.
What?
We're traveling along this road, or what?
You were traveling along the path generally.
I say, if anybody wants to go with me, I'm a dimension door over there, like to the right, like well past them.
You should take Jackie.
I can only take one person, but okay.
Keep the dog safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
No
you.
need
Okay.
Duran going all John Wick on us.
Oh man, that would be the thing, bro. I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm getting a level of barbarian.
All right. John's gonna just dimension door way over there.
Off the edge of the map, like
Pretty
400
much.
feet off the edge.
Like
of the map.
400 feet off the end.
And the rest of you are
All right,
past
everyone.
choice.
Huddle. And
All
we
right.
sneak.
Which way are you going, left or right?
Center cat.
I would just say right, because that's what the map looks like.
Give or take how many feet off the edge of the map? Just you know, be curious.
Like Well, what's on on the off map areas?
As far as you want to go, technically. Isles,
Okay,
countries.
more of what we see on here.
It's a very plains area, lots of, pastures.
I would say like
trees.
100 feet.
That's sufficiently far. Okay. No surprise. You're able to very carefully stealth check everyone. Actually, I can do that with button. Ah.
Wait, do I need to stealth check?
What? I
Why
guess
does
you
John
don't. You can just
stealth
pass
check?
on it. You
I'm
can just
way far away.
You can just dex it out. You
So-
don't have to.
Does pass without a trace give advantage?
Pass that a
It's
trace
plus
gives
10.
a plus 10 to your roll.
Oh, so I still
Do we
roll
add
with
that in the
disadvantage?
modifier, or do we just assume that what's rolled is plus 10?
You can just assume plus 10.
Okay.
Nobody start initiative because I'm way too far away to help. Oh, and Doug immediately nat ones.
But it's an
Fortunately,
18.
it does have a plus 10, and there's no crit fails on checks.
Oh, okay.
And Garant.
All right.
Gambit starts phasing in and out of existence.
The gods begin to notice that they don't notice something. Yeah, I would say with those rolls, you sufficiently go far enough away to avoid any interaction with these. As you hear the T-Rexes roaring in anger, as you see the Chimera periodically shooting fire down at them from the edge of its range, staying far enough away that the T-Rexes can't really get up to it, as it seems to be taunting them and taking its time. But you would be able to get through without incident.
Well, after that little episode of Nat Geo IRL, National Geographic.
I just didn't know what Nat Geo meant. I was like, what is a Nat Geo? Is this some Genshin thing I don't know about? Like, what's
National Geographic.
I've never
Come
heard
on.
it called that before in my entire life.
Really?
Yup.
You live under a rock.
Yeah. I was homeschooled. What do you expect?
Fair.
So is that no excuse.
Fair enough. Alright, I will give you escape XP for walking around the problem.
Oh yeah.
Yippee! More avoided combat.
More avoided combat.
That's super on brand for this group, though. Like
It is.
that's a really neat, interesting fight, and I wonder if there's more going on there. But at the same time, our party just wouldn't do that. Like, I don't know. It's neat.
Okay. Avoiding the T-Rex is... What's a sufficient amount for that?
I mean, I want to get into combat, but at the same time, I don't really want to be fighting two T-Rexes and a Chimera.
That's a valid, fair point. That is a CR-15 combat.
That's probably a good thing we avoided that then.
Potentially a little easier because, the T-Rexes had damage and stuff like that. But,
And also, we need to save our combat for the hags.
fair enough.
Exactly.
All combat needs to happen up there. Speaking of, as you move the next few days, as we get along, we will be going to I
Wait.
need 3 more checks. I need 3 more checks
Can-
from Thicket and from Doug for food. Yes.
I've been thinking,
Uh-oh.
can Gambit, would it be a bad idea if Gambit tried to make a bomb?
What?
We have a lot of gunpowder, and that could be an easy way to take out a hag,
Just
Yeah,
throw
I
the portable hole at her.
love it. I love it.
Micah, earlier you said if there was anything else we wanted to do during the day as we're
Yes.
traveling. I want to take the peaceful walking time that we have, if possible, to also like do flashcards with Mason about the common that we've studied.
Okay, continuing to talk with Mason. Okay, and the 3 civil checks. Alright, you do not get lost on the clear plains path. And I need Doug to roll 1d6 plus your wisdom modifier 3 times. So 1d6 plus nothing, 3 separate times. Or you can just roll it all at once. Either way. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5 of the 15 pounds of food you'll eat over the next 3 days, which means 10 pounds of food will need to be consumed from inventories. What inventories will be taking that hit?
I can give
I
up
volunteer.
I volunteer as tribute.
I have 26.
Yeah, but then that's one less thing I have to worry about on mine. No, that's fine. Go with 26. Go with Thicket.
Now we have 16.
Now I need everyone to roll. Forget the initiative one that I pressed. That was an accident. But you're all making Constitution saves again. Because for the last 2 days, it is incredibly hot.
I think I need to switch dice.
Does the water help at all?
No, it's because you're traveling 8 hours a day, even with drinking the water. It's extremely hot, so if you wanted, you could take an extra day and guarantee that you don't get exhausted. Is that something y'all want to do?
Wait. What's happening now?
You could take an
Do
extra
we want to
day
take
to
a
avoid...
slightly slower pace to not be exhausted?
Probably.
I mean, what's the harm in that?
Yeah.
a day's travel.
That's fine.
Alright, in that case, Doug, make another survival check and then roll a d6 plus wisdom.
Do I make another one?
No.
Can I make another one?
I mean, if you
failed.
want, you can make another one, Thicket. And what are you rolling yours for, Gambit?
I was given one. I was prompted.
Ah, the initiative one? You can just cancel that one.
No, there was a constitution.
You can make the
Did you
check
not
if you'd
roll the
like,
last one?
but it has no bearing.
I failed it, so I would like to undo it.
Well,
I'd like to unfail.
y'all are taking the extra times that the fails don't matter because you're taking the extra time.
Okay.
Alright, so you don't get lost. Doug gets another 3, so it'll be 2 more rations from presumably Thicket's inventory. As the days pass by, Mason getting there slowly. It's definitely going to take its time, especially as you basically have to teach him how to pronounce syllables in a way that people understand and isn't what sounds like clacking rocks. Because, like, fully spoken Terran sounds like shifting dirt and rocks and clacks and various different mineral-related sounds, which is why it's difficult for humanoids to speak anyway. And trying to get something that natively speaks that to learn how to speak common and make normal sounds or things that sound like it is a process. It's not a fast one, but it's a process.
He just needs to clack fast enough to make frequencies we can hear.
Yeah. So far, he's having a pretty hard
I'll
time.
also teach him little like shortcut things for in the meantime of like 2 clicks for yes or something.
Don't give him a crutch.
It's just for like simple stuff.
It's been
Just like
proven
yes or
that
no
it's harder to
questions.
learn a language if you have a crutch. Throw him into the deep end.
You can do yes or no, and that'll be all he gets.
Okay. So we arrive y'all can get to. I guess y'all can decide. Do you want to arrive at the edge of the forest, at the edge of the swamplands, in the eve of Monday, July 3rd, or the morning of Tuesday, July 4th? Hashtag Murica.
I would say the morning gives us more time.
Mm-hmm.
Was
agree.
wasn't there like a shrine that we were gonna pass at some point?
I don't recall.
The shrine is up the mountain.
Sadai told us.
The shrine is up the mountain up here.
Are we
We are well past
going
that.
to get there?
Y'all went straight north.
As long as we don't die, yeah, we'll get there.
It is out of the way, but it's somewhere you have had to go beforehand. It's not on the way.
I thought he said it was on the way.
Maybe on the way at the first 5 minutes.
The shrine to Erebus? Not really. I don't recall saying on the way, but maybe. At least for the
Then
time
why did
being.
he even tell us about it?
We'll go
You
back
asked
later.
you asked what was the deal with the town. You asked for
Tell me,
information.
Jenga block. Jojo,
You asked about the
you
town.
stole it.
Dogs stealing Jenga blocks. Just them. You
Hey,
arrive.
my cat steals my tissues, so.
It's roughly 6 or 8 a.m. in the morning, as opposed to 6 a.m. in the evening. And on July 4th, the weather is lightly cloudy. As you arrive at the edge of the swampland, it is hot and muggy as the ground is beginning to swish beneath you as you get closer and closer, as some of the ground is drier higher up, as there are more and more mounds and shifting elements. You can even see, as you're getting into close, different elements of standing water that hasn't soaked into the ground as of yet. Even with how relatively light it's been, there's enough water from somewhere. You have to make a nature check to figure out exactly where. That seems to be coming in and filling the space. As we reach the edge of this bog with various... which trees was it? Kind of trees. I know there's willows, cypress trees, maple trees, apparently aspen trees. You can tell it's an aspen because of the way that
Elm
it is.
tree.
Elm trees. Mangrove trees with large branching roots. Giving a pretty dense feeling to this, where you'd have to, especially as you get further in, potentially have to wade through water or take less optimal paths to try and stay out of the water as much as possible. It's hard to tell the exact sections as you are on the edge of the bog, but you're getting into that area where you can see the edge of the forest, where the trees thicken.
Go that way.
If it says go that way, pointing at the trees.
So, do we know how far in we need to go?
Oh, you're so smart.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
which direction?
Like, well, I figured it was this general direction, but like, how far in are they?
Into the woods.
I think that's kind of like, don't we have to isn't it like what Thicket said? We have to find a place and then recite a rhyme there.
Yeah, but this is only if we want their help. We don't want to make a deal, and we were just gonna like sneak around the house and like try to, subterfuge.
That what you're doing? Are you trying to just sneak into the forest and look for them? Because as for where in the forest, no one seemed to have any idea.
I kind of feel like it might be they are Fae, right?
Presumably.
So they might have a place in the Fae realm. And like they might not be physically in the woods.
And they have to have some place that like bring people, right? Like sign contracts, need them, and all that.
Right.
I mean, I would assume there's some place that we could find. I don't know. What does everyone else think?
I don't know, man.
Well, Thicket, don't you have that whole thing about what's the best course of action spell or whatever? And you can be like, hey, what's the best way to find the ring of mushrooms or whatnot?
Yeah, I have divination.
So is this, that would
and
work.
Also, DM, I'm currently like changing my spells because we've been going for like a few days.
Which reminds me, I should go ahead and long rest y'all.
Would it be too metagamey for me to prepare augury for this, or however you say it?
Augury, and no, it wouldn't be metagaming.
Okay.
Your character knows 4 days going in what kind of stuff you might come up against and what you might want to prepare for. So no, I don't think it's metagamey to have that spell prepared, but it does mean you'll have it prepared as you enter the forest. For better or for worse.
Yeah.
I like the name Augury. It's on my list of baby names that I expect my wife not to choose.
What's the name?
Augury.
But augury essentially allows us to ask about a course of action that we are going to take within the next 30 minutes, and we get a response from an entity giving us these possible omens: weal for good results, woe for bad results, weal and woe for both, or nothing for neither good or bad.
I see.
Do you have specially marked sticks, bones, or similar tokens worth 25 gold pieces?
I have 25 gold pieces.
That doesn't sound like specially marked sticks, bones, or similar tokens.
Sticks, bones, or similar.
I have a bone statuette. And I have the... Could I use my silver mirror for it?
Yeah, I'll say you can. I don't need to be too particular about it, but in the future you may want to pick up some
It doesn't say it consumes it.
True, but it might be. It's the kind of thing that you're supposed to pick up ahead of time, not when you're 4 days out from the town. But I'll let it pass for this one. Yeah, would you like to cast it?
I'm
What are we
still
asking it?
looking through my spells to see what all I would need prepared for the forest. But what were our options for like proceeding forward? Just like, do we go in or do we go out, or is there like different directions to choose from?
I mean, the options are really go look for a place where they might be, or try to draw them out with the rhyme or whatever it is, the ritual. Those are really the only options.
Okay, so we're trying to decide if we should go find them or if we should try and make them find us.
Yes.
Okay. I'm talk amongst yourself while I also do more spell preparation stuff to see if there anything else might help us.
Spell research. What does Doug feel?
For
You should find the hags in the forest.
chop down trees.
I was gonna say we should just throw our Charizard at it. Just let it burn down.
It'd be hard. It is a swamp, but maybe.
I can't remember the one fire creature's name, but
Anavo.
Anavo, yeah, him. Or Charizard.
Or Charizard.
I mean, basically a Pokeball at this point. That's what you're in. What a day, Pokeball. Let's see.
I have planar detection. Oh wait, I don't have stuff for it. Never mind.
You need to like get a bag of components, I think.
I mean,
Well,
she's been doing a pretty good job of it. It's just that there are only so many things you can plan for.
it costs 100 gold pieces. A component bag won't give me stuff for 100 gold
true.
pieces.
Yeah, the component bag only does for components that don't cost money.
That's fair.
Its planar detection, I think, is... Oh no, it's when there's a creature native to another plane present within it. Now, I'm not going to do this to you because I'm not evil. There is a solid argument to be made that John is a creature native to another plane. But I wouldn't do that to you.
I mean, I guess.
Oh, wait, you can also designate specific creatures to be ignored, so it wouldn't matter anyway. Never mind.
I do not have a dream catcher. Okay. I thought I'd heard at one point there was something about a dream catcher.
There is something about a dream catcher. That's for a specific ritual you were taught by Askayori, specifically regarding Nightmare Grim, which is why you have the dream
right.
catcher.
And it's not worth 100 gold pieces.
For those who are unsure, like Gambit, of what the path was, it seems the question is either how best to draw them out, or how best to get to them. And get to them ideas you have include using this magical rhyme that is supposed to be said within a fairy circle, which is a circle of mushrooms, or hop, skip, and a jump through the woods and see what you find. Or find a spell to try and make your job easier.
I mean, we've had multiple days. Could we have asked Sasha if she had a good like locator spell or something?
Yeah.
So during one of those days, did that happen, Micah?
If I look at the divination spells, that might be able to help.
BRB.
I keep losing track of how many spells I'm allowed to have prepared.
I think it's amount plus your wisdom modifier, but it should be listed like in the druid page.
Wisdom modifier and druid level. Okay. So it is 13. I have how many prepared currently? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay.
Looking through the
one too many.
different divination spells that exist, the hardest part is that spells like scrying or detect creature require a level of familiarity that you do not have.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to scry on an unknown hag or even a hag you've heard about. Like, let's see, what's the specific scrying value where you've heard of the target? It would have a +5 bonus to its save in general. And even then, there's no guarantee it would you would know its location. You would just be able to see it. So there don't seem to be any spells that would immediately be able to help you. Even spells like Find a Path don't lead you directly. Potentially something like Divination maybe could give you a hint. But there's no X marks the spot.
We don't have a compass or anything to that marks the spot. That's sad.
You do not have Jack Sparrow's compass.
That's what I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of his name. I was blanking.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe the way that these things work, it's like we are Jack Sparrow's compass, and we're like, I really just want help. I'm trying to find help, please. Can someone help me? And maybe they'll make the mushrooms appear.
I mean, if you're just looking for a fairy circle of just mushrooms, because fairy circle is a general term given to any circle of mushrooms, which in real life is a natural thing as a result of typically when mushrooms want to reproduce or spread their spores, they will sometimes explode or basically flick the spores in a way around them, and because of the shape of a mushroom, it spreads it out in a circular fashion of about the same length. So a single mushroom will result in a fairy circle, a circle of mushrooms around it, assuming they all manage to survive and grow wherever they land.
That is very interesting, actually.
It's an actual natural phenomena that, because people didn't understand that, it got a fantastistical element to it that resulted in legends of fairy circles, and it makes basically a door to the Feywild through standing in those places. Or the Fey realm. That's the real life explanation. In this game, I mean, it probably is actually just the same in this game. There's no magical element to it. It's just you have to find one, and apparently if you say a thing while standing inside of it, it does stuff. Or stuff happens. But you can just find them. Like, if you want to make nature checks to look around and find a fairy circle.
So we don't know. We don't have a way to locate it. Sasha doesn't know how to locate it.
I have speak with plants.
We can go Plants vs. Zombies and try to find them.
Don't those zombies usually attack you and make it new, or are you
Did
gonna make the zombies to attack the plants?
Oh, there you go. No. Did Thicket do his divination thing?
I did not yet.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what spell to drop. I'll drop scrying. Okay.
I don't think we need to scry anybody right now.
Okay, I think I'm good now.
You just had that many good spells, huh?
I did.
Yeah, druids are fun. I love druids and clerics both.
Okay. So, do we want to do the give us an omen one, or like talk to God?
Why not both?
Well, because
that many spell slots?
one of them is a level 4 spell.
Which one?
Yeah.
The talk to God one.
Oh.
Well, we could have done these over like the days before, right? Yeah.
It has to be something for the talk to God one. I believe it is. Are you talking about commune with nature?
Divination.
Or divination. Okay. Divination. Okay, it has to be an activity to occur within 7 days, so that one you could use.
Oh wait. Divination says it's a ritual spell. Does that mean it's still used as a spell slot?
No.
Okay. I need to write that down.
Yeah, ritual
Um,
spells don't use spell slots if you take an extra 10 minutes to cast them.
The Omen one is next 30 minutes, though.
Yeah, Omen is 30 minutes. Divination
Okay,
is
they're
7
both
minutes.
ritual spells, so it doesn't matter. But only the talk to God one, I think we can only do once per day.
You can do it more times. It just becomes more and more likely that you'll get a random reading instead of a correct reading.
God only has so much time for correct readings.
Balance of game only has so much time to ask specific questions about the future. So are you casting one?
Ooh, or should I? What is commune with nature? Instantly gain the knowledge up to 3 facts for your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area: terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples, powerful celestials, fae, fiends, elementals, or undead.
Ooh!
Bruh, we should use this.
There you go. Cheat code.
Hooray! We had
And
it.
it's a ritual spell.
It is
Yippee.
within 3 miles, so it's relatively close, but it might be able to give you a direction even if it's outside of those 3 miles.
And I can do it multiple times.
Because it's ritual, right?
Yeah, and it only takes a minute.
Doesn't have any components?
11 minutes if you do
No.
ritual.
Oh, wow.
It's vocal and somatic.
They're really strong.
Wow.
Druid
That's
spell.
awesome.
What level
Which
is
one is
that?
it?
Level 5.
The
level 5 dang.
the Omen or the Speak to God?
It's a new one. It's Talk to Nature.
Oh, talk to nature. Can you just talk to your? Do you talk to your moon lady who made you?
No, I essentially become Mason and
Oh,
do 3 miles of tremor sense, but more powerful.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Very
Okay,
nice.
I'm gonna do that.
Alright, get to Tremor Sense and then.
Commune with nature.
Okay. Which 3 facts do you want to know about the following subjects?
I want to know about is it pick one of each bullet point, or
They can all be all 3 facts can be about the same thing. It doesn't specify they have to be about different things.
well, I'm just wondering, like, because the second bullet point says prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or people. Is it only one of those?
Depends on the question. You're asking for a fact about it. So if you could ask which of these or how many of these, you could get that. You have to vocalize what question you're asking. So what questions would you like to ask? What facts do you desire?
But it doesn't say 3 miles, it says 300 feet.
Second sentence. You become briefly
Oh,
in yet
right.
doors, the spell gives you knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you.
The 300 feet is for underground.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to see, will it let me know the location of stuff? Like, precisely, or if it's just like it's around you somewhere.
Up to 3 facts of choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. Not necessarily in relation to you, but in relation to the area.
I want to know about locations of fairy circles, fae, and the influences from other planes of existence.
There are a number of fairy circles, particularly in the 3 miles around you. You can pick up a couple of them. You said location of influence and fae?
Yes.
The answer to both of those is north.
Cool.
In relation to the area that you are currently in, the facts of what location they would be in or facts about their location is north.
All right. Should
And
I
you would
do it
have-
again to ask about buildings?
And you will have pinpoint accuracy as to several fairy circles within a 3-mile radius.
Can I do it again to ask about buildings in the area?
Within 3 miles?
Yeah.
What is the question about buildings?
I want to know the locations of any buildings in the area.
None. Not within
Cool.
3 miles of you.
Okay.
So north it is.
Do we want to use a fairy circle or just keep going north? There are probably more fairy circles.
What's the use of a fairy circle again? Just
If we want to, like, do the
You want to do the
summoning
rhyme?
thing. Do the rhyme.
that's the okay. That's where you do the rhymes. Okay. I say we just keep heading north.
Going
Yeah.
into it, no fairy circle?
Not at the moment.
Alright. As you work your way into the swamp, getting past the outskirts, getting into where the trees are, various weeping willows, mangroves around you, occasionally having spongy ground you walk upon, occasionally some lighter spots, occasionally having to wade through ankle-deep or almost waist-deep waters for thicket. Jackie disliking the amount of water, especially because she grew up in the desert.
Right.
It's also hot. Granted, she's fine with hot, so it's easy. There's, especially as you get further in with the large amount of trees, and some of them getting up to 20 feet, maybe 30 feet tall, stretching out over, creating a large canopy that lets very limited light struggle to get through. Occasionally you see small animals. There'd be birds, squirrels, bugs dart through the trees. You can hear the sounds of cicadas in the distance and buzzing from different bugs. Occasionally the creak of a tree as wind blows by. And oddly, the occasional pop of almost like gas being released. You can smell a fairly fresh smell of wood and algae, but as they could be the first to notice and kind of wrinkle your nose at it, occasionally a bit of a whiff of a rotten egg smell will cross your path. The water's fairly cold. Beneath you, kind of sticking to you as you go through, with various bits of moss and algae in the water. As you go and struggle, it hasn't gotten to any crazy amount enough to where it would cause you any major difficulties, but definitely being bit by different bugs, as there are lots of bugs here. As you go through, you enter into the woods. What direction would you like to try to go?
Have we been traveling in here for a bit?
You've gotten into the forest proper.
How far did we go? I mean, because there weren't any
Probably a
buildings
mile,
within 3
2.
miles.
Maybe 3.
I'll do commune with nature again, just
Yeah,
in case.
check again.
Same about locating phase and influence from
In
other
relation
planes of
to the
existence.
area, influence everywhere. They
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
About what we expected.
Constant vigilance as we continue north.
all right.
Yes.
I need Thicket to roll a survival check into the tower,
Oh boy.
and then to roll a d8.
In the tower.
You move forward another several miles, taking an hour to reach a couple of miles, 2, 3, maybe 4. Feel pretty good about where you are.
Is that a question?
I didn't mean it as it, but if you'd like to have it as a question, you certainly can. And I don't know if you'll need
Do
this.
any places
But,
that we've
you
been
may
traveling
decide
through
that you
look
want this.
familiar?
This is up to you to decide if you want. You may want this.
It's the Dragon Scroll.
It's just a piece of parchment that each of you would have access to. Your packs.
Okay.
Do you continue moving forward? Moving north?
Do our surroundings look familiar? Like we've passed them before?
It's woods. But based on your survival, no, you look to be making progress in
Okay.
a different area. It is as you get further into the bog, more and more bits of water, especially from the outskirts. There is like moments where you have to wade 30, 40 feet of water before getting back onto land for a little bit. Walking across small land bridges and places between things. There's lots of water in this very messy swamp. Yeah, make another survival check into the tower. And another D8 into the tower.
I can see why nobody wanted to pursue this.
Getting a bit further, Thicket, you would notice with your perception, you cross a slightly more trodden path, almost, where the trees seem to be drifted apart some. There's more room in this area, and you find path is generous, but an opening that seems to be going from east to west.
Commune with nature.
Okay. What 3 facts would you like to know?
Buildings, location of Fae, and
What do you think of when you say building? What's Thicket understand a building to be?
a place where creatures live and or non-naturally formed constructions.
In relation to this place, unnaturally formed construction. Okay, what's your exact question? Where are they in relation to you and this area?
Yes, and since I have a third one, does it say, it says, like, gives you location, knowledge of the land. Would it let me do, like, sense caves as well?
Do you understand a building to be a cave? Or is that your third fact?
I'll do that as my third.
Okay.
Just
Cave,
in case.
no. Within the area you're provided in relation to it, no. Building north, hags, or Bay north. In relation to the 3-mile area.
Okay. And
There is a building. That's good.
remind me of this path.
There is a path going from east to west. Left to right. North is up. West is... I'm sorry, the path... Well, I mean, the path is going east and west. You can't really tell which direction it's going, because you don't know which way is from it to. There seems to be a path in the east and west directions.
Well, I don't trust that. I'm going to...
The party will see the whole... Everyone else will be able to kind of tell the path, too, as you get there. It's a abnormally large opening with more ground than typical.
I would recommend we keep going north and don't mess with the path.
You said the path goes east and west?
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're trying to get north, so that would be... against our... Where we wanna go.
By the way, I thought about this. We need a magic sword. That's our desperate plea, right? So that will maybe pull them in, right? Yeah? There we go. That's a great idea.
Didn't know you were trying to devise something there.
Sorry, I've been trying to figure this out because I don't have what you guys have, right? So we have all got to contribute, put our hands in the pot, whatever sort of thing. So yeah,
Bond is off thinking about what he wants.
So I guess we continue northward bound
All right, make a survival check and roll a d8.
in the tower.
Yep.
Survival.
I'm sorry, it should have been a d10, not a d8. Yes, go ahead and roll the d10.
D10.
Okay. After a few minutes traveling through the woods, you don't see any familiar locations or anything. You have moved another hour.
What time is it?
It's about noon now. You entered the forest at about 8 o'clock. Questions and directions? Party continues to walk as thicket leads you slowly through the forest.
I would say just like every now and then commune with nature. Make sure we're continuing on the right path. When it seems like we've okay, it goes like 3 miles. It's like maybe every 2.5 miles.
We'll say every hour or so, especially moving through such a difficult place. Every hour, roughly about 2-3 miles when you're getting to more of a new area or further to the edge of where it would be. Okay. So are you going to so you're going to cast it basically every hour that passes?
Essentially.
Okay, what are the questions?
Locations of Fae and buildings.
Okay. Fae.
And I would also, for this one, locations of animals. Making sure we're not gonna get jumped.
How do you define animal?
just the beast.
Beasts.
Yes, for beasts, lots of them. So all around. Seems to be a wildlife here. As for building, you get the sense of east, and for hags, you get the sense of, or fae, you get the sense of north.
Interesting. More north, or do we check out a building? Buildings with no hags seems like a trap.
Building, but no hags. What is the building?
A living space. It might be where
No,
like
I meant, are we seeing this building? Sorry, I
No,
that from.
I've given you no art, no map.
I would be worried that
You're welcome to use your parchment as you please.
a living space might be like where a beast or something is living, and I don't want
To
to
be
mess
fair,
with that.
you didn't say living space. I mean, though, I guess that you're saying why you don't ask that question. You've been asking building, which you defined as a unnatural construction. Of which you get the sense that there is one to the east, in relation to the area you're in.
Should I ask God if they know what the building is?
Might as well. Give you a little more info.
I'm gonna. I'm gonna ask about what using Audrey. If going to the building is a good idea.
Like whether there are good or bad results for heading toward the building.
Mm-hmm.
Weal and woe.
Wonderful.
To be fair, you haven't specified what kind of results are good results or bad results, so speaking generally, we'll end well. So. I should change this very nice, salty sailor music to something more suspenseful. So which direction? Going more directions? What are y'all doing? You get a sense of wheel and woe from building. And building east, ag north.
John wants to go towards the building.
Gambit, Doug,
Well,
Chris.
I mean,
it's like the building is like flat east, right?
In relation to the area you are in, is east.
yeah, but it's north of where we've come from. See, so
Well, I'm just wondering, like, if we keep going and it gets to be like nighttime while we're still trying to get to the hags, whether or not we might need a place to camp, and then there might be a building that's like too far away at that point. But it's also noon right now, and we don't seem to be getting lost, so I personally would like to keep going north.
Why? If we know the building is
Because
there.
because we're trying to find the hags, not a random building.
It could be useful to know what the building is. Like, maybe they're just not there. And then we can set a trap.
Or maybe the building is the trap. This entire wood has been influenced by Fae. And Sasha said to be wary of our surroundings and the place that they live, which could mean this entire wood. I was about to ask about that. I was like, Micah's probably grinning like a villain right now.
Oh boy, that was ominous.
There's a reason I paddle.
So I vote north. John votes building. What do you guys think?
I mean, we don't have to hang around the building. We could just, like, scope it out.
a quick inspection, is that off the table?
Yeah, Gambit could go inspect since he can,
Okay.
leave existence behind.
John can literally go invisible. So I'm down for inspection.
Well, Thicket can run fast, so that's all I got.
You're totally discounting a pass without trace. Want to be clear on that.
That's true, but also
It does cost spell slot though.
All right. Well, we'll head to the building.
Super ultra sneaky
So you're
style.
trying to head eastern direction.
Sneaky,
Roll a survival check and into the tower. A D10 into the tower.
What's the D10 for?
Probably some sort of like, do you encounter something?
As you travel through, shifting through the underbrush, you get an odd feeling. And as you get this odd feeling of familiarity, you find yourself back at the same crossing of the east and west path that you were at before.
What?
You find yourself back at the same east and west crossing you were at before.
Yeah, I got that.
We were tricked.
I guess, yeah, I'll do that in the future. One small change, but it's not going to change anything so far. Continue.
What?
What?
Nothing. Irrelevant.
When?
Okay. Well, commune with nature.
Okay.
Fae, buildings, animals.
Animals, lots. Fey north, building north.
Okay, so
North did it.
we went backwards.
We did.
It would seem to be the
Oopsie.
case.
That bodes towards the building being the hags.
You're heading north?
North.
Okay. Roll a survival check. You don't have to roll it in the tower, and then roll a d10 at the tower.
Did that land in the box? It didn't.
Okay. D10 in the tower. You move an hour north. Woods.
Which
Never commune with nature before we continue again.
Building northeast. Hag north. Or Fey north. Animals, yes.
Okay. Continue.
Okay, you're going...
Animals, yes. With the animals thing is almost useless at this point, given their.
I just want to make sure we don't get jumped.
Well, it said yes, which means
Lots of animals.
it isn't informational noise at this point.
I mean, if you have the extra question, might as well use it for something fun.
Well,
right?
it's like I'm asking like the locations of them. So if there's one like super close by, we should probably
If you're
want to know.
defining
about it.
animal as beast category, there are lots very close by. It seems to be including insects.
Can I exclude insects?
You can. In which case, you get a few around the area, but nothing super close.
Okay.
So, building northeast, stay north.
Okay.
Or are you going north, northeast, east, west?
I say we try to go towards the building again. If we get booted back, we go towards the Fae.
What time is it right now?
2 o'clock.
The building is northeast,
Yes.
right? So we potentially haven't even made it back to where we were before.
True.
I say we keep going north.
Alright.
Straight north. Make a survival check. Roll a d10 in the tower. You move an hour.
yay.
Go through the woods. You move an hour. I can assume your questions. Bay north,
Yup.
building east.
Okay, so we are. Does this area look familiar?
No.
Oh.
Wonderful.
I mean, it's starting to
Um,
all blend a little bit together. You're going through lots of trees and swamp, but I guess that's a fair point. You know, next time you ask that, I'm going to be making you roll checks instead of telling you. Continue.
Okay.
Which checks would you like to go?
More north?
Gonna go north or east? Building east, Bay north. Which would you like to do? Or
Oh,
like-
yeah.
2 or 3 p.m. right now.
Yeah.
Last time we tried going east, we lost 3 hours.
Let's
Oh.
just go north.
Yeah.
Else we're being tricked again.
That's
you'd like
true.
to try to go north?
Yeah.
Survival check.
We-
What can it hurt at this
I-
point?
Survival check.
We'd like to try.
Roll a d10 in the tower. You move an hour. 3 p.m. Questions? Fey north.
Doug,
building
help
north.
me with the survival check.
Fae north, building north. We went backwards again.
That means that we have to go to the building, right? I mean, that's clear now, right? There's no doubt about that.
Fey north.
All
building
right.
north.
About what?
There's no doubt about that, right? We have to go to the building. There's got to be.
Well, we tried to go to the building, and then they booted us back, and then we tried to go towards them, and then they booted us back.
All right, then when we get to around to the building, that's when we need to do the rhyme in the circle, right?
I guess, yeah, when we must be. They won't let us get near the building. They obviously know we're here. I guess they
Go
don't
north?
necessarily know our intentions.
Sorry.
So are we going to building?
Well, I think we got to get to where the split is, where the building's to the east, there to the north, and then do our little find a fairy circle and do the ritual.
Are we back at the path?
Nope. You seem to be in an unfamiliar area. I don't believe you have gone to this spot before.
Oh, so
Okay.
he has a map and he's just booting us around randomly. Got it.
Not random. I mean, well, actually, technically, yes. If you fail your survival check, you do get booted randomly. So yes, you're correct. Listen, I gave you a piece of parchment. It's up to you to use it how you'd like, if you want to use it at all.
What does it matter about using a piece of parchment if we get booted places?
Fair enough. Fair point. Fair point.
This is like a Magic the Noah video. It's like make your own map.
I mean, yeah. If you want to make your own map, you can use buildings as landmarks, I guess.
Except we can't get near the buildings to actually know where they are.
Correction: you haven't gotten near the buildings.
Oh boy.
It's not that you can't; it's that you haven't.
Are you leading us in circles?
None of this place looks familiar. So we haven't been here before. Maybe.
Oh boy.
Let's try going to the building.
Going north. Roll survival check and roll a d10 into the tower.
Doug, help.
Does Doug want to help?
Is it just giving her advantage? Or they get advantage?
Yes. Yes.
Then sure. I'll give Thicket advantage.
Okie doke. As you move further north, you find your way into a clearing.
Finally.
Clearing is, clearing because the trees split apart a bit. Let me change the lighting. Although I won't show you all the thing necessarily yet because you don't need it.
Wait, are we supposed to be seeing a map?
Not as of yet. May not be necessary.
Bob is seeing a map.
I see a map.
I don't
You?
see a map.
You should look at it, Micah.
Where can I look at it? Where is your map?
I don't know. There's just a map, and it's covered in trees. And I've also moved like 2,270 feet.
So the roads map y'all were on before, Jaislyn has just been moving her character around. Yeah, you've gone real far in that map. I'm gonna let you do it as long as you want, and before I drop you anywhere else, we're gonna go back to that map and I'm gonna press OK and we're gonna watch you work. Watch your character go. It's gonna be great.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be real funny.
Let me start
but
over.
As
just
you
so I can
get
do it
into
better.
this area, into this clearing, you see there's dead trees, live trees, forest, different rocks, normal swamp elements. But in this relatively large opening in the center, you see what appears to be a shipwreck on the ground.
What?
Not
Odd.
horribly large. Looks like it's probably a day skiff or a 4-person boat that you could, maybe even 4, 6, 8 people could be in for a seafaring journey, or potentially a river boat. But you see this relatively large boat. It looks to be wrecked. Different pieces of wood thrown off to the sides at different portions. You see what looks to be a small rowboat buried partially into the ground 20 feet away from the boat. And however long it's been here, there are mushrooms growing in the boat, around the boat, as it appears that even some dirt has managed to find its way into the center of the boat and into the floorboards in that area. Around the
How
boat.
high did the sea used to be over here? Dang.
Is there treasure?
Around the boat, you see what looks to be 3 wooden statues that look vaguely humanoid. They're not very well defined, but 3 vaguely humanoid statues just standing silently near the boat. Unmoving.
These have got to be the
Medusa.
house.
They appear to be made of wood. These
Medusa.
wooden statues.
Um,
Oh yes, there's also
Can
an
we
anchor
set them
off to
on
one
fire?
side. Would you like to
What
set
do
them on fire?
statues look like?
They're
Are
vaguely
they-
humanoid shaped. They're not well defined. They're not hyper
so either
realistic or
somebody's
anything.
treasure was really bad, or somebody turned them into wood. Also, was the sea this high at some point that they could have run aground here?
Can Gambit roll history? He
Sure.
knows about
Make
the
a history
ocean.
check.
Hold on. Where did my character sheet go? Blech. Combat tracker, save me. Where is the combat tracker? Oh, top. Okay, the wrong one. Hello.
Hi, what's up?
Is that okay? Never mind. I found something better.
What'd you find better?
You don't have to use the combat tracker to find your thing. No, that was to find where you were on the map. Duh.
You don't know anything about history.
I know about.
You're just a silly little guy who spent a bunch of time in jail.
I am a silly little guy.
Also, not to mention,
What
who
the
knows how.
heck?
Roll 5.
Oh, not that. I was looking at Gambit on the map. Who's
Oh,
moving
man.
now? I don't know. Anyways, this is fun to watch. What was I thinking? So we did find a house
No.
You found a building.
or building. Building.
don't
What does the building look like?
It's a
Want
shipwreck.
to go to bed.
Oh yeah, duh. Sorry, I put way too much alcohol in my drink. Um,
So that's why John's been taught. No. I mean, yeah, there's a shipwreck. Are you going to inspect the
Sure.
shipwreck? As far as it seems,
Yeah,
I've gotten
shipwreck.
the sense that all of you are staying relatively further back.
Gambit is no. It disappeared.
Nuggets! I
Aw,
wasn't
that's so
thinking,
sad.
and then I
Aw.
moved before I pressed the button. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It was pretty far. We don't want to crash it anyway. So.
No, I do want to crash
Okay.
it. I want it to crash. It's
Um,
funnier that way.
Is there a
Yep.
way into the boat?
I mean, yeah. Let me show you the map, and
Are there fae nearby?
you are going to
Think
take
it's
10
gonna
minutes to
check
ask
before we do anything.
before you do
It's-
anything.
It's 1 minute.
Oh, that's if you use a spell slot. If you ritual cast, it takes an extra 10 minutes. That's how ritual casting works. Takes an extra 10
I
minutes,
say
doesn't expend
it's-
spell slot.
We could
Okay.
just be careful, and Gibbet has his gun out already.
Fae North, there's no pinpoint accuracy within 3 miles.
Is it north? Are the figures north of us?
Yeah. So
Give it,
I've
let's-
shown the map. The figures are
Oh, map.
around the building. I did share the map, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
The figures
Really?
are around the shipwreck. There's
Okay.
one standing over here, one standing over here, and one standing about here.
Lovely.
Okay. So got statues. Good
Where-
boat.
Where are the statues in relations to these figures, or are those the figures you're talking about?
The figures are the statues. They're wooden
Okay.
statues that vaguely humanoid
Nice.
shaped. Like a
Um,
poor piece of pottery that looks kind of like a person, but not that you could tell any particular type of person, or even if it's a male or a female.
I did do the commune with nature, right?
Yeah, so you asked the question about Fae. Fae North, not with no pinpoint accuracy within 3 miles.
Okay.
So the Fae aren't necessarily near. I'm gonna go check the shipwreck and see if I see anything.
Unlock tokens, move them as you please.
Gambit has his gun out and it's like kind of cocked, and he's just got like a hand on a hip, and he's just watching those 3 figures.
Jackie will sniff the wooden planks.
John's gonna go see if he can
Uh,
see if there's any clues as to why this thing is here.
Okay. Are Doug and Thicket coming along too? Move your
Jack-
move yourself.
I
close.
will stay next to Gambit and do detect magic.
Jackie, stay close, girl.
Looking around, John, make a perception or investigation check as you look around in the boat. It's not great, but it's not super difficult. It would take you a minute or two. It's more of the time question than anything else, depending on how long you're spending to look for things. You spot that slightly wedged underneath this bench, right here. Looks like it could be pulled out, but it's kind of wedged underneath, is a small metal lockbox.
Hey guys, I found some.
Okay, bring it to me.
I need
I don't
help
know. What
getting
is it?
I probably need
it?
help getting it.
Oh,
It's-
I'm
It's like
guarding
a lockbox.
I'm guarding Thicket right now. A lockbox?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I can unlock it, but
It's under a thing. Doug, come help.
yeah,
Doug can guard me while you go pick locks.
We
Yeah.
don't need Gambit to pick the lock yet. We just need to get it out.
Okay, well, Doug first.
We can bring it over there.
As these two, are you going to try to pry the lockbox out?
Yeah.
As you get close to the lockbox and begin to reach down toward it.
wait,
uh,
check to see if it's a mimic.
How would you like to check and see if it's a mimic?
Oh, I don't have detect magic or anything.
Just poke it with a stick.
I
I'll poke it
will.
with my sword.
As you pull out your sword, as you're generally near, as you reach the sword toward it, Garand, Thicket, and Gambit, all of you see, because you're all paying attention as these two are looking at the lockbox, the 3 wooden statues, all of their heads turn and are just looking right at John.
Immediately fire.
They're not doing
Immediately
anything
fire.
immediately, but all you see first is that they turn and look at him. But it sounds like you're initiating combat.
I don't know.
It's a little
I don't know,
late.
Sam.
It's
Do
a
you
little
fire,
late.
Gambit? It sounds like you're saying you fire. If
This
their
is
heads
what he's been
turn,
watching
you
for.
fire?
That's so terrifying. I think I fire.
Alright.
Fire. That's scary.
Alright.
And that's why he
So how
immediately
far
didn't
am
trust
I
me.
into my detect magic?
Well, let's hope he misses, and then we're just calm down.
If you were taking the time to try to cast it, you would still be casting it. It hasn't been 10 minutes. I need to check and see the thing.
Because Gambit's thinking of like what Sasha said, like you gotta take out one first. So he's thinking the three figures here. There gotta be the three hags, and
As they shift and as Gambit pulls his gun to fire, I will show you a picture as the creaking sound of wood as these wooden statues that have been standing here so long, moss and fungi have begun to grow on them, taking these three positions. You see three statues roughly like this.
oh, that's not a hag. Maybe it is. I
They're
don't know.
vaguely wooden statues. I can know.
They're vaguely wooden. Okay.
Vaguely wooden.
Can I make a name check as part of that, or no?
That's weird. I don't know why that. Yeah, map side. It was like only showing part of the area. Or,
Yeah, I
other
was
side.
wondering.
It was that's what's happened.
That's
what was
much
that,
better.
Chris?
Can I make a nature check on that?
Sure. Make an instinctive nature check. And let's see. It is 10:20. Do we want to try and do a combat real quick, or?
I don't think we can do it.
I think we wait on next week because it is 10:22.
Ah,
I
but
think
I'm
we
so...
wait to fight these guys next week. Garand, assuming you, Chris, are thinking what I think you're thinking, you're probably correct. And Garand
Okay.
can think that.
All right. Then you know what? I'm gonna leave it as a surprise for next time, and then when I start off with like, oh no, it's that, and then you can be like, yeah, you're right or you're wrong.
Yeah. Can. We'll stop there as y'all reach to poke the lockbox. The wooden shipwreck, the building, as it is defined, set before you. Having a taste of the swamp and the confusion that lies within. It's a great spot to end, and I'm so happy with how this map turned out. I made this, I think, earlier today, so I'm glad I made it before y'all stumbled on it without me knowing it was going to come up.
It's very pretty.
I'm so happy with how it turned out. So there are elements that are automatic, like the ground texture, the some of the placement of different things, but the placement from the Dungeon Alchemist mapmaker that I use isn't always perfect. So sometimes I have to go through and get rid of things. Like sometimes they have really bright things, and if I want a darker element like the swamp, like this, and like I had to change the water because it was clearer, so I made it to muddy water. And I got to place all these different items. They even have like brushes that will spawn things semi-randomly. So like all the mushrooms, I was able to basically just set a density and then take a paintbrush to the map. I'm so happy with how it turned out. It's great, and it only took me 10, maybe 15 minutes to make this map.
What did you make it with?
Dungeon Alchemist.
Huh.
It's a map making tool on Steam that has help from artificial intelligence effectively, but really just auto-generating based on expectations. So if I set it to forest, it'll generate a semi-random forest setting. So this was like a specific kind of forest and then floodplains. Then I just had to make some minor edits to get out how I wanted. And then of course put the ship there because that wasn't there. Ship there, scattered wood planks, the rowboat, the anchor. Very happy with it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Especially with how little effort
I
it
hope
took.
Gambit isn't about to kill an innocent creature.
Define innocent?
Well,
Define creature,
mean-
I guess.
Well,
or like a neutral creature.
I mean,
That's fair.
I've got a trick up my sleeve that could probably take him down pretty quick.
Yeah,
What
but
is...
do they need to be taken down? Gambit is hard set that these
Well,
are
you already
hacked.
shot at him,
You
so
are
at this
shooting
point,
them. That is...
it's not
He's
even.
like, yeah, I know, but like, I don't know.
Great.
I mean, I've got like 5 fireballs, and I could probably kill them pretty quickly.
you have a necklace of fireballs you can throw around.
Alright. I need to jump off.
All right. So yeah,
Because that was way too much alcohol.
I'll stop the recording and stream for the night. Thank you so much, guys, for coming and hanging out. We appreciate you. I know we didn't get a break, but that's probably okay. It was mostly just talking and stuff. I'm sure people... I hope during times when we're just talking and stuff, y'all know you can excuse yourselves to go do whatever you need to do. That would normally be during a break, especially once we get past the normal break time. If not, sorry. But we'll see you next week. Appreciate you. Have a goodbye, YouTube.